won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the NBA coverage. We are live from Forest City, Arkansas. Before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Subs. I got my creatine monohydrate here because obviously you guys know you gotta take them every day. You gotta take them when you travel. Go to finalformsubs.com. It's SUPPS. Finalformsubs.com. Use promo code Strib, all cash no space. Get 10% off your order. I have a special guest here with me today, my brother Trey. Trey, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yo.
All right. We are going over the NBA because a lot has transpired in a week, and the in-season tournament is full throttle. So first, like I did last week, I'm going to go over the standings each time, and then obviously the in-season tournament and teams I think that are making waves. So we're going to go over the standings in the East. And number one, we got Boston, Milwaukee, Miami, Orlando Magic. Then it's 76ers, Knicks. That's your 1 through 6. 7 through 10, this is the play-in tournament, would be Pacers, Cavs, Hawks, Raptors. And then your bottom 5 teams are the Nets, Hornets, Bulls, Wizards, Pistons, sitting there at last. In the West is very, very surprising right now because we have teams that are kind of up there that, might not necessarily expect. Number one is actually the Minnesota Timberwolves. We have sitting at number 1, OKC is number 2, Denver, then it's Dallas, Suns, Kings. Play-in tournament 7 through 10 is Lakers, Rockets, Pelicans, Clippers. Then your bottom 5 is Warriors, Portland, Jazz, Grizzlies, Spurs. Now, I think Timberwolves is an interesting team because they are 11-3, and you have Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards is playing just absolutely phenomenal right now. And that's led them to being the number 1 seed in the West. Will they stay there? I don't know. OKC is just half a game behind the Timberwolves. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet and those guys are just playing really good ball. And I think if OKC can stay in the top 3, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has a good chance of winning MVP. He was actually the favorite to win MVP this year. And if their team does really, really well, who's say he doesn't get it? For the East, who's your favorite team out of the East?
I like Milwaukee.
You like Milwaukee. Why do you like Milwaukee?
Dame and Giannis on the same team.
Dame and Giannis, and that's why we're not surprised you're sitting at 2, right? But who would you have as your dark horse team? A team that somebody wouldn't necessarily be thinking about, but could potentially make a solid run later in the season as well as the playoffs.
I can see the Hawks making a run.
Hawks. Let's see where we got the Hawks at. Hawks 9th. So yeah, so they'd make as of right now they'd be playing and then make a solid run with Trae Young and those guys. For me, my favorite in the East, I think my favorite in the East is always Miami.
Yeah.
Because we all know that regular season, as long as Miami makes the playoffs, anything can happen. Because when playoff Jimmy Butler or Jimmy Buckets come playoff time, dude's just an absolute monster. I think my dark horse team, I actually have the Knicks as a dark horse team. Now, the reason why I have the Knicks as a dark horse team is because the Knicks, they're sitting at 6th, and Julius, their star player, he's actually not shooting the ball very well. Shooting at like 27% from the field, but he's still finding ways to help his team win. He's not averaging a double-double, but he's averaging close to 10 rebounds and 20-something points per game. So he's finding a way to score, whether it be free throws and things like that, even though he's not shooting the ball well. But what I think he'll get out of this shooting slump he's in. I don't think it'll last the whole season. And once he starts shooting a better percentage from the field, obviously you got guys like Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, and guys like that. But once you get your star guy like Julius Randle, once you start shooting better, I think Knicks are going to go on a run. I think I can see them making it to like the 4 or 5 spot. Those are going to be my two. And then what are teams that you think that are, I don't want to say a lost cause, but a team that needs to do a lot if they want to get back into competing? Because, our bottom 5, you got Nets, Hornets, Bulls, Wizards, Pistons. Do you have a team that you think that still has the potential to figure it out before the season's over?
I could say like maybe the Wizards with like Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma, all that.
Yeah, there is a rumor that Wizards are looking to trade Jordan.
They are.
So
If
we'll see.
They get rid of him.
You think that's it?
So,
Yeah, with my team for that, I think I got Bulls. Because the Bulls, there's rumors that the Bulls are looking to trade Zach LaVine. And I believe Miami and Lakers are the top two teams for trades. I think if Zach LaVine goes to the Lakers, the pieces the Lakers are going to have to give up to get Zach LaVine, I think are going to make Chicago better.
yeah.
I don't know who they would give up or like what that package deal would look like in terms of how many players / draft picks / capital they'd have to give up. But I think whatever they get from Lakers or from Miami, I think is going to make Chicago better, and it'll give them depth. Even if they don't get a superstar, it's going to give them depth, right? Because you still got DeMar DeRozan, you still got Alex Caruso. Like even without Zach LaVine, you still have a solid team. It's just the chemistry's not working right now.
Yeah.
So that's what I have for mine. Now let's switch to the West. Out of the West, who's your favorite? It doesn't have to be a top team, but just a team that you just enjoy playing or watching play out of the West.
I said the Suns just because of KD and like D-Book.
Yeah, and the interesting with the Suns is that they're playing well, so they're fifth, and their big three still hasn't really played much together. Because Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and KD, they're still all three haven't had a string or run of games where they're all three are playing. Usually one of them is sitting. And I don't know if that's strategic to keep them fresh for when you're in game 70, 60, 70, 80 down the road, or if it's legit they just can't catch a break with one of them being hurt. Who's your dark horse out of the West?
Clippers.
Actually, I think that's I'm gonna talk about it. I think that's a great one because I went and saw the Clippers play the other night against Spurs. They did start when they got James Harden. They started off rough. They lost like 7 straight with James Harden. Yeah. Now they're starting to win. They played a back-to-back at San Antonio. They won both games. That's 2 games right there that they won. Watching them, I think, and then Russ saying he's willing to come off the bench to help the team. Yeah. Ever since Russ come off the bench, they look way better. Paul George looks good. Kawhi looks good. James Harden looks good with the pick and roll with Zubac. And then when Westbrook comes in off the bench with that second unit, he's able to just be him. Yeah. So they think they look good. I think I actually might have them as my dark horse team as well.
I feel like once they get like their chemistry together, I feel like.
Oh yeah. And just the way that Kawhi gets whatever he wants effortlessly, and he doesn't freak out when double teams come. He stays calm and collect. Same with Paul George. I watched Paul George because I was close to the floor. Paul George, it looked like he was just in the zone. Like whatever you threw at him, he didn't freak out. He just stayed calm. He was out there cooking. When he saw the double team come, he already knew where it was coming from. He already knew who was going to be open. It was just cool to see. And then who is the team that you think can figure it out before it's too late?
I'll say the Grizzlies.
You think so? Oh, you know what? Because Jaw's not playing.
Yeah.
Jaw's not playing. I agree. That's my team as well. That can still figure it out. I would go Grizzlies. I also might throw Warriors in there.
I would put the Warriors.
I might throw Warriors in there as well. For me, my favorite out of the West, Lakers. Right. Yeah. Even though they're sitting at 7, but my favorite is just the Lakers, just because LeBron, the greatest of all time, and just a monster. My dark horse team, again, I agree with, is going to be the Clippers. I think once they figured out they're a hard team to stop. Not only that, but you also got to look. They're 3 out of their top 4 All-Stars, 3 out of their 4 stars are two-way players. Yeah. Russell Westbrook plays great on-ball defense. Kawhi plays great two-way, and Paul George is a great two-way player. So you got just two-way All-Stars. Harden not so much, but still, when Westbrook plays defense, he's very, very hard to score against. He's just in your face. He's got quick feet. He plays great on-ball defense. And then, so the depth they have as defensive players, being their all-stars, when they're on the court, they don't suffer on either side of the field kind of thing. So I also think that plays into their favor. Now, we're going to go to the in-season tournament, right? So we're going to start with East. East Group A, now that we have some games that have been played, the standings are starting to line up. So East Group A, we have Pacers are 1, Cavs are 2, 76ers 3, Hawks, then it's Detroit. Out of the East Group B, it's Bucks, Miami, Knicks, Hornets, Wizards. East Group C is Celtics, Nets, Magic, Bulls, Raptors. Then West Group A, Lakers is leading the charge by significant. Now they're 4-0. They're actually undefeated in tournament season play. You go Lakers, Suns, Jazz, Portland, Grizzlies. Then West Group B, Pelicans, Nuggets, Rockets, Mavs, Clippers. And then West Group C, you have Kings, Timberwolves, Warriors, Thunder, Spurs. First of all, what are your thoughts on the in-season tournament?
I feel like it doesn't really affect me. Cause I feel like I don't really watch the NBA till like it gets later in the season. Like when like really like.
Does this in-season tournament? Do you feel like it's like kind of giving you a reason to watch it early?
Yeah.
Like, do you sometimes like, oh, in-season tournament? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I like tune in like just because of like the in-season tournament.
Because that's actually, I feel like that's the main point that they're trying to make is they know people don't really watch the season this early.
Yeah.
Besides people like me that, you know, I consider myself someone that covers the NBA, obviously amateurly. But besides people like me, most people don't watch the NBA. You know, 82 games. You lose, you know, you can go 0-5, 0-10 the first, you still got 70 games left, you know, 72 games left. So it doesn't really matter. It does, but not really kind of thing. But anyway, but I saw that they're trying to make basketball relevant early, so people tune in to watch so they can make more money. And, you know, they're always, early on in their season, they're always competing with the NFL for TV time. Yeah. But that's why their games are always on Tuesday and Friday, obviously, except for this week because of the holidays. But I was just curious to seeing if you actually, you know, just because of the end season, if you were tuning in just because of that. And it seems like a lot of people are, because the teams are actually playing hard for the NCAA tournament. Because I've always said that it's only going to work if the players actually take it seriously and it feels like a tournament, like they are actually trying to win, you know, the thing. So it seems like that. Now, out of the tournament, it looks like our top groups. So it's going to be Pacers, Bucks, Celtics out of the East. And for West, it'll be Lakers, Pelicans, Kings. And I think, and then there's going to be like a couple more teams. But who do you think, now if it, let's say it starts today and you got Pacers, Bucks, Celtics, and Pacers, Bucks, Celtics, who do you like out of those three to make it out of the East?
I'd say probably
Bucks, because I think that Bucks and Celtics would be a pretty good matchup. But yeah, you like Bucks out of that one. I forget how many total teams go. I know if you're first in each group, you go, and I think it might be the next two with the best record. So out of the East, it would be Pacers, Bucks, Celtics, and Miami, because Miami's undefeated still. Technically, Miami and the Bucks are tied at 2-0 as of right now. But it'd be that. And then out of the West, it's Pelicans, Kings, Lakers.
I got the Lakers.
Like Lakers out of that one. And then let's say you get the one with the next best record. It would be, right now, it'd be Timberwolves. Would that change anything? Timberwolves for that. But yeah. So the NCAA tournament is actually shaping out to be pretty interesting. And then the tournament's in Vegas as well. But so who are some players that are standing out to you in the NBA? We'll close off with some players that are standing out and teams that are, you know, kind of doing their thing.
I'll probably say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for my first one, because like he's been like doing what he's been doing since this season.
Just getting to his spots, consistent mid-range shot, yeah. Shai, and then I don't want to say predictions because it's so early, but who do you think is the team that's going to be the most consistent, or that's playing the most consistent right now?
Right now, I'll probably say the Lakers.
Lakers, yeah. I know they went on a little bit of a rough start, but they're starting to play way better.
AD.
Yeah, AD started to play way better. Yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's playing well. Obviously, LeBron's playing well. Anthony Edwards is playing well. Steph Curry. I'm actually, you know who I'm actually surprised that it's working out right now is Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah.
Because remember last year, people were talking about they weren't going to be able to work out together. They're both too ball dominant. But if you look, where were they in the standings? They're fourth. They're 10-5. So. And they're only a game and a half behind the one spot. So, I mean, if they go and win 5-6 straight, that's their first seed right there. Yeah. So, I'm actually not necessarily surprised, but I'm kind of surprised that duo is actually working. with Kyrie and Luka. It makes sense though because you have two just almost unguardable guys on the same team.
Yeah.
And they're also not for Kyrie, he's not scared to also pass the ball there. And then Rockets are very interesting because you got the story with Memphis. Yeah, Dylan Brooks leaving Memphis, ended up in Houston. Now Houston's actually really good when they were trash last year, and Memphis is trash this year. So Dylan Brooks now to Memphis's defense, Jaw's not playing, their best player. So obviously when he comes back into the equation, it's going to be a different story. But I'm scared that by the time Jaw gets back, it's going to be too late. Because is it 30 or 50 games?
I think it's like somewhere closer to 50.
Yeah, and if it's that many games and they've only won 3 so far, if you only win in 3 out of every 10 games, you're going to be 9 and not very good, and it'd be too late. They'd have to almost win out just to get back for that one. And then Zion's back and he's playing better. So it's really interested to see how the season plays out for sure. And obviously, Devin Booker. I mean, just a lot of great ball being played. And yeah, KD, Devin Booker, even Bradley Beal, Chris Paul's really been a good addition to the Warriors. Even though the Warriors their record doesn't show it. I think they need to implement Chris Paul more because he's not playing he's not playing the minutes I thought he would play. But I think they'll figure it out because Steve Kerr's he's a great coach. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have. Is there anything you want to wrap it up with anything you're noticing or want to mention with the NBA?
No.
All right. Well, y'all heard it here. It's been another episode of the NBA coverage. We'll catch you guys next time.
I'm gonna chase my